name is JC Rivera. I'm an artist, and I'm the creator of the Bear Champ. Yeah, so the Bear Champ is a character that I created like early 2000 maybe. By that time, it represented like, you know, I wanted to be a boxer. I kind of grew up around boxing. I'm Puerto Rican, you know, like I have a lot of boxers that are famous. Kind of created like that. It was like a beat up character, you know, smoking a cigarette, like it was a champion, kind of like still like, you know, and eventually when I started like doing it, I started getting recognitions or whatever. Used roll with the punches, which is roll with the punches. It's like what, you know, man, kind of like, hey, every day you wake up and then you like roll with the punches. You like try to make it and trying to make it. And then that's what pretty much the Bear is. It's like kind of like everyday life for everyday people like us. And then just kind of like, you know, just roll with the punches and go with, you know, what life throws you your way. When I started branding the Bear, well, I was doing a lot of things for different people, like logos and whatever. And it's cool, it's satisfying, but I always wanted to brand the Bear, you know, brand something, like something. And that's when I was like, I saw the Bear that I had in my sketchbook and I started doing paintings with it. I only had, at that moment, I had like a few colors, and then that's where it's yellow. It's not yellow because it's Winnie the Pooh. It's yellow because that's the color that I had. And the yellow was acrylic, the brown was like oil. So I mixed them together to do the shading. And then red, the backgrounds were like red. So the first like set of paintings were like that. And I was looking for galleries to show it. And then kind of painting murals came after that. Just because I wanted to brand something, you know, be recognized by something. And yeah, little by little, it started picking up. It started like, you know, by painting murals and stuff, it became like a problem. And yeah, it's something that I love to do. I really like the character. It represents me, you know what I mean? Some people say it looks like me too. So, yeah. But when I started doing the Bear, people started identifying with it because when I create like roll with the punches, you know, more than anything. So that's when kind of, you know, man, and it inspired me even more to create and to create the, you know, the whole world around it. The Bear and the simplicity of the character too, that makes it well liked. Prepping for a project, everything is a little different. Depends on the collector, the client, or who I'm working with. It can go from a mock-up, or it can go from like, just do what you do. Just everybody's a little different. And if I'm painting, some paintings are like, I think about it right now and I paint it and, you know, it just comes out that way. And some paintings are, you know, drag for like months and I just still kind of go back and like, sometimes I just go back and go over it because I don't, you know, feel in it. And things like that. But it's all depends on like what I want to show or what I want people to take from a painting or a mural, or if it's for like a company or whatever, it's what they want to, you know, represent. So kind of like we meet halfway sometimes. Walking away from like a regular job, 9 to 5, it was always wanted to, you know, I mean, I don't know. It was like since I was like, have that feeling, you know, something in me. It was like, oh, like some point I'm gonna do something. And I just kept pushing, you know what I mean? Like I tried many things and a lot of things didn't work out. Kind of making a living doing it, you know, and something that you love and something that you see everybody that like it and everything. It just kind of gives you inspired to keep going. You know, you have ups and lows and you struggle and you like broke sometimes and all that stuff and you keep doing it, keep pushing just because it's something that you really enjoy doing, you know, and then, yeah, you see that everybody else does too. When I started doing it, I was in Orlando and I moved to Chicago just because it was a bigger city and I knew that it could inspire me more and I, you know, be more exposed to like a lot. And it was either Chicago, New York, or LA. And Chicago was like big, like, you know what I mean? Like I would get, everybody will see it, and then small enough that it would like stand out too. So when I got to Chicago, I went to gallery shows and like just me, you know, I mean, not a lot of people, I didn't know anybody. So I kind of like went and checked it out. And this is what and I still do it, you know, man, when I want to go into a different city, I plan it, like, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to accomplish. But Chicago helped me a lot just because I felt like at the moment everything was starting with the art that I do. It became like more welcome and welcome. It's a combination of everything. Probably the timing, the city, how it's laid out, how it's set up, the neighborhoods, you know, that I painted murals and all that stuff. So I was trying to buy markers from somebody that I know, and it's like, hey, do you paint or whatever? He wanted. I'm like, I did, you know, what I do, but not like, no murals like this way, you know. And then he's like, yeah, just come with us, paint the characters between our, you know, when we're painting graffiti and stuff. And then, so I'm saying Instagram was like kind of starting to at the same time. And then that was like the peak of everything. It just, like I said, timing is like really important for every like artist or every career, pretty much. I'm always like that type of person. I didn't go to school for it. I'm self-taught. I'm the type of person that is like, I'll try to figure it out. I try to make the best out of it, you know, and figure out the ways that I can do things. Even if I'm not successful, I don't care, you know, it's for myself. So I painted on canvas, I painted on pretty much everything, you know, from walls to a car, to a boat, to handbags, to, you know what I mean, like many things. But I would like to do more sculptures. I would like a sculpture at the park. I did a mural with a billboard with McDonald's, you know, stuff like that is really cool too. Probably the most difficult project, or, you know, times is when I painted a few murals during the winter for like a company that I needed. It was a deadline. Okay, get it done by this time, and it will like snow a week before, or it will like snowing the whole time. Because yeah, the paint doesn't stick, nothing. It just everything goes wrong. I think that's like the worst, like the most difficult, like that I had with something, or like a difficult client. It's like, because sometimes clients like say we want this, and then everybody's like put their input, and then they want to switch it completely, and that's not what they reach out to you for, you know. When it starts losing your, you know, what you want to do, and it's not becoming fun, and it's not becoming something that you like gonna be proud, you just have to walk away. It's forced. Like if I feel like I'm forced to do something that it's not what I want to do, then it's not fun. Probably a mural that I like did, and you know, I mean, it has started so like simple, it became such a significant thing in my career, was the bear holding the pizza for part of the pizza. And it's fun, and I love that image, you know what I mean? I can paint it probably every day. And I recently went to Oklahoma for a mural festival called Plaza Walls, and I think it's like, you know, I mean, it was like a really good experience. All the artists were together, and then it was just like a really good vibe, and it was really cool. And then like Big Walls, Big Dreams, they actually put a really good thing together. And going to Puerto Rico to paint after the hurricane, you know, like painting in like a town, Macau, put it together by Elgal, with the community painting, and you see everybody like excited and asking you questions and inspired by everything. Those are like why I feel like what it makes me like, okay, yeah, I want to keep doing this. My work has been in like, I did a show in Hong Kong, Milan, London, Barcelona, places in Europe, and then everywhere, a lot of cities in the US, Mexico City as well, and the Bahamas, and Puerto Rico. And I would like to go even more, you know, after the pandemic, kind of everything, you know, internationally, you like, you know, pull a lot of back, but yeah, I'm ready to go back. I think the most popular piece is, it's just everything. It go from like the pattern, like a cluster, or the bear heads, and then sometimes it's something like this. It's just like, you know, man, the OG post, I call it, which is like how I started painting him, you know? And I do murals like this a lot, because it's, you know, man, it becomes like the Nike swoosh, you know, like everybody sees it, and it's like that. Probably the longest project, or the longest like wall that took me the longest to paint. It's like Broken English in Old Town in Chicago. just because the wall was like really big and I was a lot of detail, doing a lot of detail. But I think it took me like 2 months to paint it. I usually paint everything faster, but yeah. Average time to paint in something depends on the size, maybe from 1 day, 2 days to like a week. The bear is pretty simple, which is that's the reason I like painting the bear, and then I like it because it's simple, it's straight to the point. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. A lot of sometimes like, yeah, other artists say like, hey, like, yeah, the bear is too simple, whatever. But it's like that's, yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated. You know what I mean? I don't have nothing to prove to be like, oh, this is the skills that I have. You know, the skills come from many things. Yeah. Be able to brand yourself, be able to express many things. But like, there's artists that do a design, just a design, you know, yeah, lines or whatever too. So growing up, I'm like, you know, I mean, I watched my dad doing paint, it was drawing and stuff on the wall, you know, like doing the Mickey by the squares, proportion, you know, like the little thing, and then just kind of doing the same. Okay. The wall in the house. That's one thing that I remember all the time. Yeah, my brother always, like, my older brother was always, you know, drawing and doing things. And then, yeah, I started like doing my little characters and just creating different things, different characters, and drawing like Michael Jordan a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, LeBron. But yeah, no, I'm drawing Michael Jordan a lot. And he made stuff like that, and I didn't know anything about how to use acrylics or oils until later in life, like way later in life. 2002, 2003 maybe. That's when I started like playing with like a lot of materials, different things. Yeah. I feel like how I started marketing myself was, yeah, doing like hand-drawn stickers, you know, sitting down and like drinking beer and doing hand-drawn stickers and then putting them up after. And painting the murals, of course, you know, like asking for walls for free, just painting shit for free. Like even to this day, I don't do it for the gram, you know what I mean? I do it because I feel like it. You know, even when I'm trying to sell something, I posted them. Like if you know somebody will like it, cool. If it doesn't, yeah, it's fine too. Like, you know what I mean? It's not, yeah, like I don't have to like pretend like I'm doing something or somebody else. Even the way that like when I'm painting a wall, it's like, this is what I'm doing. If I'm collaborating with somebody else, this is like what I'm doing with this person or whatever. I mean, I don't have to hide the other person. I don't have to like pretend that I'm doing something bigger. You know, I do what I do, and then you know, people like it, and yeah, cool. If not, then yeah, it satisfies me anyway. So, top 5 favorite artists? Yeah, like me. Does everybody say hello? No, I'm kidding.
What is it?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I do have favorite artists. Just probably not even by what they paint or what they, you know, man, it's like how they branded themselves, how, you know, different things, you know. Yeah, people that I look up to in Chicago is like Anthony Llewellyn. I always mention this guy because I've worked with him many times, and he always, like, you know, his work ethic and his work and how he does everything. When I was, you know, trying to be an artist or whatever, I looked at people like Jeff Soto from like Riverside, California. I think it was like one of the in Crayola when I grad Sims. You know, man, it's like there's different people that I love. You know, it's like their work has nothing. You know? When I was like trying to make it as an artist, I saw all these artists, different artists, you know what I mean, from everywhere in the world. They looked in the magazine and whatever, and then, you know what I mean, I would see like, oh, I would like to even do like a little bit of what these guys are doing. And, you know, man, I never gave up. I just kept pushing and pushing. And then when it happens, that's the thing, it's like a lot of people think, I feel like a lot of artists right now, they do a lot of things, right? Like a really cool shit, but because in their mind, they think it's gonna happen and it's such a different way. That opportunity, they don't think of it as like how big it is, because they're like waiting for that moment to be like, you know, probably like confetti and shit, you know? When you do something, you have to appreciate it, and you have to like realize like, oh shit, I just did this, or I just did it with this brand or whatever. Like I would never fucking like, you know, think I could do this. But everybody always think like the opportunity is gonna come with like, you know, yeah, a certificate or whatever, you know. A lot of people take it for granted. You know, and I did it a bunch of times. So I was like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? I want to just like appreciate everything that I do. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's small or big, or even if it's successful or not. you know, like, because we're always waiting for like that, because we always see, especially now with social media, we always see everybody's like, I did this, you know, I did this. I'm like, probably you didn't, you know what I mean? You're showing that you did. And then our opportunities, you always like making it seem like they're less, or you think they're less because everybody else is doing something cooler, you know? But not really, you know what I mean? Like, you just have to appreciate what you do, no matter what, so. The thing about collaborating, you know what I mean? Like, I collaborate with a lot of people, like Atomico, like, you know, Didi right now, just finished a collaboration with her. You know what I mean? I'm never like too big to collaborate with anybody. You know, if I like it, if we're gonna do something fun, cool, I'm down, almost down, you know? But there's people that collaborated in the past, you know what I mean? They like never shared that we collaborated, you know what I mean? And it's always that weird thing. But I'm always like, you know, man, it's always good to like even Didi, you know, man, we just did a show together. Her style is completely different. Her characters are completely different. In some way, somehow we make it like work. That's the fun thing about it, you know. And I seriously like doing collaborations. I like it. I enjoy it, you know. And I would never feel like I'm like too big, you know, to collaborate with anybody, or somebody's too big to collaborate with me. No, I did a show with an artist that you know, it wasn't a really collaboration, it was like a duo show. And I don't think he liked me at all. Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Huh? I think he thought he was better than me. But my shit sold, his didn't. So, yeah. I listen to lo-fi beats and stuff. Yeah, jazz, you know, yeah. Bad Bunny, once in a while. Just because I'm Puerto Rican, everybody does. You know, and it just plays. The phone, it's like, oh, you're Puerto Rican, there you go, I'm playing Bad Bunny. Yeah, I don't have a bucket list, but I do have like certain things that I would like to accomplish. And some things that I wanted to, and then now I feel like don't really matter anymore. Like working with like, you know what I mean, like, which a lot of people do in Chicago, but like the Chicago Bulls, it was like actually pretty cool, you know. It's like growing up watching the, you know, the Bulls, like the 90s, you know, kind of working and, you know, being with, you know, that was actually a good experience. The Bears and, you know, the Chicago Bulls and working for, you know, Adidas at one point, you know, things like that. American Express, breweries too in Chicago, and even did like tequila companies, and you know, I mean, like a bunch of all those brands that I worked, you know, man, they're always like, there was always something fun, and it makes you grow as an artist, as a professional too, you know, as a business person too, you know, all those things you have to figure out how to do it, how to like, you know, approach it or handle it, everything. But you know, in the future, I would like a sculpture somewhere. I've been trying to talk about this for many years, probably like over 10 years, about doing that. It's one of my first goals, I think, as an artist. With one in Chicago and one in somewhere else, or I don't know, every city too. Yeah, Puerto Rico, yeah. One that says Dale. As a Chicago-based artist, I made the move to kind of base myself between Miami and Chicago, just because everybody needs a little fresh, you know, certain time. I've been in Chicago for a long time doing this. I'm still not gone, you know what I mean? I go back and forth. I feel like just to have more challenge in my career, inspired by different people, inspired by different artists, inspired by a different environment, you know? I think that's like, it's key for every artist to do anyway. You know, like just, you don't repeat doing itself, and like, and just to grow as an artist, as a person. Many artists done it in the past, and many artists do it right now too. You know, they've been like really established in one city, and then go to the other side of the country, other continent. You know, just to get a different. You know, I was coming here a lot. You know, and I know a lot of artists here, and I know a few people here that, you know, and I was raised in Puerto Rico, so it kind of feels like familiar and everything too. So, and I like the culture here. I like the, you know, like the people, I like the culture, I like the food. It's pretty good. It's just a good city. I felt welcome, and I felt like, you know, man, inspired me. Like I have a bunch of murals in Wynwood, and I feel like, you know, it's just cool. You know, I mean, it's a cool environment. Like I drive around, and all you see is art. So it's, you know, I mean, it helps you like stay focused, I guess. I think art in general in Miami, I'm still trying to figure it out. I just got here. Wynwood is like a big part of what it became, popular and became like a place. Right now it's in a different, evolved into a different thing. For many years it was like a place that people came and, a lot of artists came and just grabbed walls too and painted whatever the fuck they wanted and things. And it's still a little bit like that. I like Miami just because I feel welcome, and a lot of artists here, I can collaborate, and everybody's so like welcoming and chill, and always down to do something. I feel in contrast between Miami and Chicago. It's about like, there's different hustle, definitely, but there's a lot of like the same amount of talent, I think. Chicago is like really culturally, like, it's the same, but I feel like Chicago's a little bit more segregated in the cultures. It's a very diverse city too, and I think that's like one thing that I like about Miami. And it's not as fake as everybody says it is. Yeah, I'm open to any collaborations. I like to show in different galleries here, and then do like fun stuff. No, like before I used to get like mad or whatever when people went over my stuff with graffiti or whatever. They always say it's like fuck street art, and they just go over it. But I think it's an excuse. Actually, I never said any of this like anybody out loud. But I feel like everybody says, every artist or every graffiti writer that says fuck street art and they go over it, they know that people flick that wall and they just want the same attention that the street art is getting. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're saying it, but you're actually being a little hypocrite because you're actually going, you know what I mean? You know that walls gets attention. You want people to see your shit anyway, You always get that little, you know what I mean? Like, usually people are like kind of like coming up a little bit or want the attention. And they also sometimes they want the attention because they're actually they're artists, and you know what I mean? They couldn't figure out how to make a character or make it something that it was like stick that way. And that's their way to like show. It's like, oh yeah, I can get the same attention by fucking up somebody else's shit. I don't really give a shit. Like, I paint and I already like what. If we go over like the pizza parlor, somebody just went over it, right? I'm like, okay, cool, man. Like, but for many years I accomplished what the mural was there for. You know what I mean? Like, you're not hurting me. When I hurt the wall, you're not hurting anybody. You just want some shine on you. You're okay, cool, take it. You know what I mean? That's fine. So.
It's one of my murals in collaboration with Mr. Rabbit. It's between Miami Court, 19th Street, and 20th Street. It's the most recent one. It's just my character and his character, and we have Mira too. A shout out to her. She set up the wall. All right. Yeah, we stacked them. It's pretty much stacked like next to each other. Cool. Yeah, we're on 23rd and 1st. Wynwood, Miami. This wall I painted for Big Wall, Big Dreams. Probably it's the third time painting it in probably 6 years, probably. Collaboration with Tiger Sasha from Arkansas. Cool dude, really nice. Really dope spot. Yeah, one between 22nd, 23rd, and 2nd Avenue. This is my collaboration with Atomico, Miami legend. He paints like everything, everywhere. Great guy. Something Sour is the name of it. We have prints of it too. And it was a fun wall, fun night. It gets flicked a lot, this one. It gets like, we always get tagged and whatever. This one is in jail. This one is, we have this wall right here. It's always locked up. It's in 2nd and 14th. Yeah. This is one of the first ones I ever painted here. This little one, still writing.
Like, stay straight towards the camera.
How much straight?
I know, I'm saying you have to stay straight. You're so funny. Yeah.
This is a bear. Boxing gloves, a little crown, band-aids, a little cigarette. Yeah, all right, cool. I'm JC Rivera, creator of the Bear Champ. This is me.